Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Challenge. We have two whiskeys, but they're not from the same state. We have George Dickel, number 12, Superior Recipe. I don't have the number 11, the 10, the 9. Well, there aren't any of those sold. There is the 8. I don't have it. I don't have the 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1. There is a 1. Beer Hounds Beer Reviews. Hi, Ronnie. Bullman's Beer Reviews says morning. Morning to you. And you're over, and I guess afternoon to you. I believe he's in the Kingdom of Scotland. Beer Hound Bill. I thought, maybe I'm confused. I thought we were friends on Facebook and that you remember Alcohol Eggs. But maybe I was mistaken. But we could be, if you want to be. All right. I think I'm a friendly person. All right. Anyway, George, I'm not a chatty person on Facebook. There's some people misinterpret that. They want to be friends. I say, okay. And then they want to chat me up and open into chats. But that problem has mostly disappeared. But a few years ago, it was grim, you know. But anyway, I would just keep pushing them off. Say, no, I'm not into that. No, I unsubbed because it flooded my wall. Oh, what flooded your wall? The alcohol eggs? Oh, yeah. I've had some of those groups do that too. Like you can unfollow the group, but it still posts. It's strange. Like some of these political groups people invited me to. Well, I was sort of interested in those. And it's like, well, I don't want to see that just keep coming up. So I unfollowed it, but it keeps coming up. So I just left the group. No offense. Because I really wasn't that interested in it. The only two groups I really participate in is Alcohol Eggs, because I like to see what people are talking about with beer, wine, and liquor. And Rock and Roll Club, because I like to see what people are talking about with rock and roll. Beer reviews. But I'm still with you, yeah. Okay, thank you. Travis Childer says, what's up? Just chilling, drinking a bud. All right, so the number 12, I'm just making a joke about the numbers, but it is sort of chinchy the way they do it. And same thing with Old Charter. Old Charter 8, like trying to imply that it's aged 8 years. Or I think there's a Jim Beam. No, it used to be Jim Beam Black 8-year age. I don't care. This is age. It is age about 8 years, between 7 and 9 years. All right, between 7 and 9 years. I heard that from the horse's mouth. It's 90 proof. It's Tennessee sour mash whiskey. All right, it's a type of bourbon. It doesn't say straight whiskey on there, but we know it is because it's aged in new charred oak barrels, and it is aged for 8 years. Okay. An average of 8 years. Now, Cooper's Craft, no age statement. We know it's at least 4 years old. I believe I remember hearing somewhere on a video with one of the Cooper's Craft representatives talking that it was aged like about 5 to 7 years, but I don't remember, and I don't know where. I'm not going to go looking for that video. I know it's 8.2. 82.2% alcohol. And I know that if it has no age statement, it's aged at least 4 years. Okay, so it's at least 4 years old. It runs about $23 a bottle. So $23 a bottle and about $23 a bottle. So the same price. One's from Tennessee, one's from Kentucky, one's from Diageo, one's from Brown-Forman. And now it says what sets this apart: toasted wood whiskey. It's they use beech and birch charcoal filter process. Beech and birch, whereas Jack Daniel's uses sugar maple charcoal. I guess it makes a difference. It does taste different. It's not the same. He says, dude, I'm drinking this New England IPA called Hazy Life by Revision Brewery, and it's blowing my mind. Laughing out loud. It's blowing his mind. All right. Cooper's Craft, building a gentler bourbon. Is that another way of saying a bland bourbon? Okay, but you could read it. I put the website link below, and they have an updated bottle design. I have the older design. Diageo has an updated bottle design for Dickel. I have the older one. I bought this for very cheap, $12.50 for the 750 milliliter bottle. True story, $12.50. Now I'm going to put my right hand on my head like this. I bought this one very cheap. Yeah, it's $23. I bought it for $9.99 at Mathern's. Now, how in the world could Mathern's have this for $9.99? I don't know. I didn't ask. I bought it and I left. At first, I didn't know what it should cost. So I came home and I checked online, different stores, and they all like 21, 22, 23, really mostly $23. I say, well, I'm going back and buy it. I think I waited till the next day to go over there, and I said, hopefully it's still there, and it was, so I bought it. So I got it over half price, and I got the Dickel for about half price. I think I hear the newspaper people. I don't know if they threw it. My subscription expired, but they're still throwing it. They're probably going to give me some few months credit based on how exorbitant they were charging me. You know, the exorbitant price they were charging. I'm not renewing. I'm not paying outrageous amounts for the newspaper, and there's nothing in it hardly. Then they made kind of a good deal for me, offer, and I said, let me, no, it's still too high. And then I called them back and said, okay, I'll take that offer. Well, we can't give it. It's like, well, how come every time you talk to a different person on the phone, they give you a different story? I don't understand that. Most people don't get the newspaper anymore. I only know 4 people in this whole neighborhood that get it. 4. Really 3, because my subscription expired. All right. An old man and 2 old ladies. And me. Or used to be me. They're both the same shade. So we don't have to worry about color. They're both, what is that color? Tan? Amber, people say. It's like tan to me. Tan, you know, light brown. Travis said, you get some great deals, dude. I know. I can't believe it. I was satisfied when I got one great deal once. You know, like one time I got something like the Appleton Estate signature for $9.99. And that's normally $19. But then I kept getting more deals. So I kept getting more excited. Then I bought more deals. Then I got more excited. Then I got more deals. Then I got more excited. I got more deals. I got more excited. Then it was a frenzy and I went mad. And then I came back to my senses like King Nebuchadnezzar. All right. But, you know, my fingernails got real long. My hair was real wild. And I was crawling around in the woods, screaming like an animal. Well, that didn't really happen. I'm just trying to make myself feel important as though I would be like Nebuchadnezzar, you know. But I did get a lot of good deals. And I did get excited about it. But all the rest is just hyperbole. I didn't really mean that in a serious way. Okay. I'm pretty mad Trump lost, says Tab. But I don't hold anything against people who voted for Biden. I've been waiting for a dawn buster, says Tab. Oh, I don't hold anything against them. They just, in my opinion, made the wrong choice. But I put a caution on Facebook. I said, well, you can read it if y'all want to. I think it was a very good statement, especially since it's backed up by history. My best deal was Weller's for $10. Weller's for $10. Wow. That is a great deal. Yesterday, I got Patty's. It used to be called Patty. Irish whiskey, just Patty. Peppermint Patty. But then they went to Patty's. They redesigned the label and it went to Patty's like in the past year or less. Oh, well, Patty's from the Irish Republic. Is it going to be any good? I don't know. I heard good things about it. I had to get it because once I do these bourbons, then I'm going to do blended whiskey. And then the next thing up is Irish. Okay. Now remember, 41 41.1% alcohol versus 45% alcohol. Not a great difference, but there is a difference. 41.1 versus 45. It's not profound, but it's there. Now, I did Brown-Forman's Jack Daniel's number 7 yesterday, green label versus Dickel 12, and I got it on aroma only. You notice that? On aroma only, I nailed it. Boom, I got it. And I called it a tie, though. I called it a tie because I couldn't really say that one was better than the other. Honestly, I got to be honest. I just felt like it was a personal preference. Well, you might prefer the sourdough taste more than the heavy charred oak, or vice versa. It wasn't a quality issue. It was just personal preference. And what did I say? Which one do I prefer? I preferred both. So it was a tie for me. I had no preference. My friend David looked at me kind of strange, like, everybody knows Dickel 12 is better than Jack Daniels. I said, everybody might know that, but I don't know that. If I believed it, I would have said it. Okay, so that one smells musty, like old furniture, old wood, in the nose, you know. Now, over here. It's got that strange Flintstone vitamin smell. And I said, if it smells like Flintstone vitamin, it's the Dickel. Now, I confused the George Dickel Cascade Hollow with the George Dickel 12. I got mixed up. But I don't feel bad about that because I didn't have really much experience. Well, I had some experience with the Hollow, Cascade Hollow, but I haven't had much experience at all with the Dickel 12. And they're both from the same company. They're using similar ingredients. So I guess the Cascade Hollow would also have the Flintstone vitamin smell and taste. Now, I don't know if you're into whiskey that tastes or smells like Flintstone vitamins, but Flintstones vitamins, but this does. It's not a bad smell. I don't want you to think I'm saying it's bad. It's just strange. So I don't need to taste them. I can tell you which is which. This is the Dickel. That's the Cooper's Craft. It smells like a Brown-Forman whiskey. Does Brown-Forman have a house style? Seems to. They all have that musty old furniture smell, old wood, and this doesn't say it's sour mash, but it still have that kind of sourdough bagel smell. Jack Daniels, just smell Jack Daniels. Smells like cornbread. You're not inciting me, he says. No, I don't incite people intentionally usually. I just make statements and throw them out there and see what people, and like my daughter understand, I just put it out there to see what people are going to say. Just think, like, see what they think. Now, some people are very volatile. You know that. We know that. So you don't have to do anything. And they'll say, I'm not going to be your friend anymore. Don't talk to me. Because of some trivial political disagreement, you know. But they're volatile. I've met people in the beer world that are volatile. They're very tolerant of any opinion with which they agree. You understand? If you agree with them, they're tolerant. If you disagree in any way, shape, form, or fashion, then they're set off like gasoline. And I have trouble dealing with that because I'm not volatile, you know, so I'm just like steady Freddy, you know, just, you say, does it politics upset you? No, politics do not upset me. What about religion? Doesn't upset me. So by making a rather, like I'll make a, you might be volatile too, right? You, the viewer, but to what I would call a very mundane statement, you know, just like nothing. It's like a nothing statement about politics or history. And it just, wow, these people get set off. They must have a lot of trouble in their lives being so volatile. You know, you can imagine that they would just explode in the huge family fights at Christmas, Thanksgiving, any kind of get together, watching a football game, talking about any kind of pertinent issue. I can just imagine how volatile they are because, like I said, in the regular world, in the beer world, dealing with people that are volatile like that, take offense to everything, you know, chip on the shoulder, really funny, you know, touchy. That's a good word, touchy, you know, unsteady. Hans Eysenck talked about that with personality descriptors. He talked about the 4 factors type of personality, and they would be in that Now, whether they're introvert or extrovert, I don't know. It could be both. You could have volatile introverts and volatile extroverts, but they would be in that unstable quadrant, unstable half, because it could be introvert or extrovert. That's the other half, introvert, extrovert. All right, anyway. This tastes like wood and cornbread. Good morning, Sunday morning, says Joe Biden's dentures. Time to brush up on Orwell, Ron. Yeah. Well, that's been going on for so long. We've had neocons and liberals like Obama dump us into war. Yeah, I was talking about that. On Facebook. There's a long history of the establishment administrations looking for countries to attack. So before you're out there celebrating and buying party balloons, you might want to look at your history, study history. Most people I know don't know much about it. And just the administration that was in power from 2009 to 2017, they attacked two countries who had no interest in fighting the United States, Libya and Syria, and look at the fiascos there. Well, they usually will attack weak countries. You know, that's how the American establishment operates. They seek out countries they can beat. You know, you say, well, that sounds like a bully. Yeah, that's what bullies are. They go around picking on people that can't really match up with them, you know. Done. I could, but that's another video. But anyway, we're just talking, hanging out, drinking whiskey. You know, the challenge is already completed. So that's the Cooper's Craft. I like it. I don't know why people would take issue with it. I mean, it's not the greatest thing. It tells you on the website, what do they say, a gentler whiskey or something like that. Okay. The Dickel. Woo, the 90 proof just hit me. So you can tell it's got more body, it's higher proof, and the charred oak is just screaming and hollering. It's like screaming for vengeance, you know, from 1982. It's just screaming charred oak. I don't know how you feel about charred oak, but if you don't like charred oak, and I mean, they use an alligator char for a level 4 charred oak. That's a thick. They burn it so it's thick, and then the head of the barrels, you know, the ends, the caps, whatever you want to call it, that's a number 2. So it's really heavily charred. It's almost like you burnt your food. So I don't know how you feel. Some people like light char, some people like moderate char, and some people like heavy char. I tend to like the heavy char, you know? And therefore I like this. Am I an extrovert? Oh, well, I mean, I guess I am. I'm out there on Facebook doing alcohol eggs, doing what you call that, rock and roll club, doing these live videos. So how would you be an introvert keeping to yourself when you're doing this all the time? You know, I guess I'm an extrovert. I'm an extrovert who likes to be left alone. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like people bugging me. You know, you say, oh yeah, I know the type. All right. You know what I'm saying? I get volatile about session IPAs as set founder, says Travis. John Martin says, true. JBD, the brutal truth is the majority of the population aren't critical thinkers. Yes, I totally agree with that. Well, the evidence shows that. They're not critical thinkers. And when you bring up subjects like I just brought up a few minutes ago, they're totally they don't know what you're talking about because they don't know anything. They are not aware of much. But we want to educate as best we can. But it's hard to educate volatile people. I had students like that. I would tell them, I say, it must be nice to know everything. What do you mean? I said, well, you seem to know everything, or at least you think you know everything. And the other kids might laugh. I wasn't trying to ridicule them. It's just that they didn't know anything and they were trying to act like they did. I was like, you should make 100 on every test we have because you seem to be an expert at all things. Yet, I don't think you are. Most students like me because I told it like it is without being ugly or sadistic or, because some teachers are really bad, mean, mean, people like that. You got bosses like that. They're just mean. Power trip, the type. And I respect authority because when I fight authority, authority always wins. Anyway, ha ha ha. All right. Oh, this George Dickel. You old George Dickel. You taste just like a Flintstone vitamin, you old George Dickel. Thought so, laughing out loud. That's right. My daughter thinks she's an expert on everything, says Tab. Now, when I was 16, did I think I knew everything? That's the old cliche, 16-year-olds think they know everything. I don't believe so. I mean, I might have been arrogant and think I know a lot, because at 16, I used to look up a lot of stuff about history and government and geography. And so I was less mature, obviously. So maybe I would try to set fires, but mainly just to hear what people say, because I love listening to what people got to say about something. But I mean, the teachers would come to me to look stuff up. This is a true story. I remember in high school, the teacher, Miss Gordon, came to me and said, while I was in history class, "Hey, why do they call them doughboys?" I said, "I don't know, but I'll find out." So the other history teacher, he says, "Okay, you're excused. You can go to the library." So I went to the library and I researched it and I came back and said, "Okay, here's why they call them doughboys." So I had teachers asking me to go look up stuff, so then you're 16 years old or 17, so you think you're hot stuff, And I would go to those literary rallies 3 years in a row, won first place in the Southeastern region, Nicholls State University, blew those people up. But until I got to Louisiana State University in the state competition, there was always somebody that would just blow you up, Like you thought you knew a lot and they would just kill you. And then they'd go into the United States competition and they'd probably get whacked. But I got my little medals 3 years in a row. And I was proud, about it. People told me I was like an old man. I wasn't like that. Cheers from Germany, says Chris Meyer. Joe Biden Denture says, today it's all about the pursuit of permanent adolescence. I seem to notice that on Facebook. And even on video reviews, like a lot of people are very childish, They make all these sexual jokes, Oh, George Dickel, get it? George Dickel. I'm like, wow, these are 40-something-year-old men. It's very embarrassing to watch because they think they're funny, they're entertaining themselves. And I'm like, oh, you're like embarrassed for them. It's like, why do you think that's funny? You're not 11. And I must have watched 20 videos like that. Hey, we're doing a video, man, for George Dickel. And then the other one laughs, ha, ha, ha. And I'm like, golly, did I land in some permanent insane world? You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. I feel like, come on, man. You feel sorry for them in a way because they're on the internet doing this, and it's like, I found my daddy's Playboy magazine. It's like, oh, wow. I don't know. It's mind-boggling to me. Anyway, because I just don't really, in real life, I'm serious, in real life, I just don't really interact with people like that. You know what I'm saying? At work, some people, but you expect it from them because they're at that level, they're just not, they can't help it. But in regular life, I just literally do not interact with people that are at that level. I just don't. There's no one I know who thinks that kind of stuff is funny or intriguing. Today, yeah, well, Ron, I want you to see a grown-up. Oh, thank you. Let's see. I'm very humble. I'm humble, and I'm proud of that fact. In fact, I'm so humble, I was going to make a billboard, have it put on the interstate, say, humble and proud of it. Because I want everybody to know how truly humble I am. But anyway, All kidding aside, this is obviously the Cooper's Craft. Ha ha. D12, Dickel 12. Okay. Question of the hour or the 30 minutes. Which one is better? News is starting, y'all. I gotta go. And remember, if you can't be good, at least be careful. If you can't be good, at least be careful. Anyway, and you can take that any way you want. I think I'd rather drink the Cooper's Craft because I don't really adore whiskey that tastes like Flintstones vitamins. You say, no, everybody knows Dickel 12 is better than Cooper's Craft. Well, everybody might know that, but I don't know that, and I'm not seeing that. I see it as slightly not as good. So 2 lessons we learned today. A, I could tell them apart. On aroma only, 2 in a row now. B, I think the Cooper's Craft is a little bit better. Oh, and C, they're the same price, so it doesn't really matter. All right, so thanks for watching this video production. 2 in a row. The last Brown-Forman I have is Woodford Reserve, and I am absolutely positive that I'm going to tell those apart Tuesday morning. There is no way I'm going to confuse those. I cannot see that happening. I cannot see it. It will not happen. It cannot happen. Thanks for watching this video production. Bill says, oh, Dixie Baseman. I'm sorry. I don't have my glasses on. Jack Daniels Rye, the Oak Ridge Boys, and Ron. What else can go right? I don't know.